Not everyone is overlooked. Some people choose not to be seen. You learn how to soften your presence, how to shrink your voice, how to exist without drawing attention. Not because you lack something, but because you understand what happens when you don't. So you adjust, you hold back, you become smaller than you are. And over time, it starts to feel normal. It doesn't always arrive with noise. Sometimes it slips through quietly. A moment where something responds differently. You move, and the world seems to adjust before you finish the action. Not because it's broken, but because you've been holding it back. The patterns you used to study begin to arrange themselves without effort. And suddenly, what once required focus becomes instinct. Not learned, remembered. It's not the failure you fear. If it were, you would have tried already. It's something quieter, something harder to admit, because the moment you stop holding back, you don't just change what you do, you change who you are allowed to be. And that version of you doesn't get to hide anymore. Luna wasn't afraid of the system. She wasn't afraid of failing. She was afraid of no longer being able to pretend she was small. The moment you stop holding yourself back, something shifts. Not just within you, but around you. The space you once fit into begins to feel smaller. The systems you once moved through begin to respond differently, not because they changed, but because you did. And the more you resist it, the more obvious it becomes that staying where you were is no longer an option. Not because you're forced out, but because you no longer fit. The fear doesn't disappear. It stays, quiet, persistent, reminding you of everything that could change, of everything you could lose, and everything you would have to carry. But something else changes with it. You stop asking whether you're ready and start understanding that you don't need to be. Because control was never about removing the fear. It was about moving despite it. Luna didn't become fearless. She became decisive. It doesn't arrive as a moment. It feels like one. But it's been building long before you noticed it. The shift isn't in the world. It's in how you meet it. And when you stop resisting what you are, something subtle begins to change. The distance you once felt begins to close. The noise you once followed becomes clearer, not louder, just aligned. Your deepest fear isn't failure. It's discovering how powerful you really are.